When you think about when you first started in leadership to where you are now, how has leadership changed for you? How do you see it versus when you were in your 20s and now where you are now? How have you evolved as a leader?
I say this to every single person that's had an effect in my life. I emulate,
Mm,
and what that means is just copying.
yeah,
And I've taken the good and the bad, and what I've seen, what I've been exposed to, and utilize that for a lot of my guidance.
yeah,
I live and breathe with advisors and mentors, and coaches.
yep,
And I encircle and encompass myself with a tremendous team that has literally some of the best skills within the whole business. And so I rely upon them for their decision making. And I would say that I've grown, right, from a humility standpoint to being a very humble being.
This episode is sponsored by WellLink. For over a century, we have been at the forefront of healthcare advocacy, innovation, and collaboration, serving as the collective voice of Northeast Ohio hospitals. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Well, welcome to another episode of Humble Conversations, where we interview leaders from around the country about leadership and about the importance of humility. Today, we happen to have a friend of mine, an incredible leader, Brian Lane. He is the leader and CEO of an organization called WellLink, which is located here in downtown Cleveland. And they're doing some awesome work. And so I'm going to have Brian kind of tell us about his journey to WellLink, which some people might know as Center for Health Affairs,
Mm-hmm.
but they recently went through a name change,
We
and you could
did
talk about that. And
just recently.
but so talk about that. What was the inspiration behind the name change, and what you guys do for those that might be listening that might not know?
Yeah. Well, first off, can I just say thank you for having me
Yeah,
with you?
yeah,
And I'm probably not the best speaker at podcasts, but I'm so appreciative of you soliciting this opportunity to us and to my
yeah,
organization.
yeah,
I love you as a dear friend, and you have been an inspirational leader for my organization that I'm a part of, and that has been the Center for Health Affairs. And I'm now going to transition into your question, which is
yeah.
its now new name is called WellLink. And the reason why we made the change is because we have actually changed the focus of the hospital association to encompass all healthcare. And
Hmm.
that is all direct care providers within this area, which encompasses FQHCs, community benefit organizations, doctors' offices, long-term care, um, LTACs. And so it has a variety of opportunities to convene and have their voice heard and facilitate dialogue on issues that are apparent within our community,
Yeah,
and then create an actual solution on uplifting the community.
yeah,
And so the WellLink brand for us is one limitless link. And literally it's predicated off of the work that you did with us, truthfully,
wow,
James.
that's amazing.
And I mean that it creates, I think, a basis of spiritual, empathetic, compassionate, passionate conversations that we all become servant leaders, that we all live into it together around a convening, and we have a focus on one core mission, which is elevating our community here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the work that you're doing, man.
Well,
So,
same with you. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, we've been working together for what?
four
I think
years now.
I was gonna say, yeah, 3 plus. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it,
And you guys have been, awarded, some of the best places to work and just the
we're
work you're doing
blessed.
around
We are. We're
culture.
absolutely blessed. We've actually secured, actually, from 2019. I came here in 2019 from Oracle, and running federal healthcare there, um, to this role, we have secured 28 local, state, and national awards.
Wow.
And like I said, we're absolutely blessed, and these are with some of the biggest um, organizations out there, locally, nationally,
Mm-hmm.
and the team is literally only 54 people,
Yeah.
and we've competed against organizations of 40,000
Yeah.
plus, and
Yeah.
still secured top accolades. You just saw actually probably in Cranes this week, we came in ninth for Cranes top workforces.
Yep.
But that is all due to the work of every single team member within this organization. Our people officer, Leslie Ferneras, a dear friend of
Mm-hmm.
yours,
Yep.
has really, I would say, spiritually kind of guided us
Yeah.
on the right pathway of bringing in coaches such as yourself, other leaders who have worked tirelessly with our team to get them to understand the primary mission, which is serving in
Yeah.
serving our community. And so they understand that, and then they embody it and then live into it. And by
Yeah.
doing that, we've been able to provide a tremendous amount of volunteerism, additional philanthropic support, and this whole organization is just literally about the uplift.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Did that make sense?
it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
That's so much, right? It's a lot of impact that you're making. If someone were to ask you what's next, Brian, for WellLink, what would you say?
We're at a very unique little time period here,
Mm-hmm.
and I will share this with you, and
Yeah.
then I'm sure the people who are going to be viewing this,
Yeah.
those from healthcare who are serving,
Yeah.
and those who are receiving healthcare receiving, are also experiencing some of the turmoil and the
Yeah.
volatility. The volatility comes from the marketplace of reimbursement. It
Mm.
also comes to effect regarding inflation, cost of goods, workforce shortages. So there's a smaller pool of people to go get
Okay.
and utilize within your organization. So what I'm articulating to you is costs have gone up.
Right.
Okay. And the needs of our healthcare providers has also gone up
Yep.
because of chronic conditions, aging. We do have a silver tsunami, which is of our baby boomer populace with a lot of chronic conditions, And so with that, the system is being saturated right now, and I would say you're going to see a lot of consolidation happening. You're going to see a tremendous amount of shifting in care out towards the communities. And so for WellLink, we want to help in that creation of solutions to allow the providers to continue to work, number one.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be extremely innovative. We want to, operate from a mission specific focus in that convening, in that solutioning, in that innovation, and in that servitude. But at the same token, I think what you're going to see from us is organizations nationally looking for new homes
Mm.
and looking for new management teams, looking for back ends that have a strong progressive heart,
Yeah.
and can stay stable or grow. This organization has definitely grown over the course of the last 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would say we're going to explore those types of conversations.
Yeah.
And so you might
Yeah.
see M&A activity come out of here
Yeah.
relatively soon.
Yeah.
And I think you might also see new models of how association membership may unfold for healthcare organizations to be
Yeah.
a part of something such as WellLink.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
Well said. So let's take it back a
I'm
little
only
bit.
trying.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
All right.
Let's take it
Uh,
back again. Let's give people a little glimpse into who Brian is. When you think about when you first started in leadership to where you are now,
mm.
how has leadership changed for you? How do you see it versus when you were in your 20s and now where you are now? How have you evolved as a leader?
I say this to every single person that's had an effect in my life. I emulate,
Mm,
and what that means is just copying.
yeah.
And I've taken the good and the bad, and what I've seen, what I've been exposed to, and utilize that for a lot of my guidance.
Yeah.
Um, I live and breathe with advisors and mentors,
Yeah.
and coaches.
Yep.
And I encircle and encompass myself with a tremendous team that has literally some of the best skills within the whole business. And so I rely upon them for their decision making. And I would say that I've grown, right, from a
Mhm.
humility standpoint to being a very humble being.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
was it that way in my 20s? No. Was it that way in my 30s? Starting. But is it the way now? And now I'm in my 50s, and some of you probably are thinking like I'm 60 or 70. But the 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 point that I just want to raise is, as we mature, I think the understanding of people, understanding of how things work, understanding our purpose, understanding the creation and why we create missions, really comes into focus.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. I think for the person who's watching, because I think people who's going to be watching obviously are people who follow me, and people who follow me are either very into humble leadership, servant leadership, things of that nature. But the people also watching are people who desire to be in roles like yours, people who are leaders. So we'll have different leaders watching. And I think that takes courage to say, hey, um, I emulate. And I think that's the cheat code, is that do you have the humility to say, you know what, I see somebody's doing something
Yeah.
incredible and I'm going to imitate it.
Yeah. And the essence of books like yours,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Good
and
shout out.
and 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 others too, are very important. And so, having them, um, and understanding certain, it doesn't mean that you have to understand every single thing within them, but being able to take the essence and be able to translate that and then pass that on
Yeah,
has been one of the most important um, things that not only do that I do, but the other leaders within this
yeah,
organization do. And so we don't have all the answers, is what I
yeah,
want you to understand or
totally.
say to your audience. And then I also want to state that we try, we will fail, we stand back up, we take note of that failure. And really, we don't even call it a failure. We just celebrate the fact that we gave it a try.
Yeah, yeah,
And so I think those are just some quick leadership tips that this organization, um, which has thrived, as we were talking about
mm-hmm,
regarding the 28 awards, it really has propelled us forward. I would also
yeah,
state that when we hire individuals, we make a point of stating some of this up front,
mm-hmm,
which is this is a place to grow. This is a place to lean into. It's a place to live. Um, it does have a kind of a familiar, family orientation associated with it.
mm-hmm,
But we are here as a team to succeed,
yeah,
right? And so each day you're trying to step and move forward, but always there's steps backwards.
mm-hmm,
And we take note of those, and basically diagnose why it didn't happen, what do we need to do going forward, and then apply it. And I think that our satisfaction scores,
mm-hmm,
and why we have some of those core awards, is which is currently sitting at 92%,
yeah,
and the national average is around 80 for
mm-hmm,
top end organizations. So we're 12 points as a delta above that.
yeah,
But I think it's because of the individuals here who believe in themselves, have accountability, know their purpose, live into their departmental and personal goals. And we support that. We
yeah,
support it with training. We support it with education. We support it with meeting individuals such as yourself,
yeah,
and having that type of exposure.
yeah. That's good. Well said. So, one of the things I want to get your insight on is this concept of cultural humility. And for my audience, so cultural humility came about in the late 90s by two women, African American women, who wanted to introduce a different framework into how we approach the healing process.
Mm.
And so prior to that, everything was focused on cultural competence in terms of how they would train healthcare professionals to be able to work across differences. But the gap was that it was leading to more stereotypical behavior because culture competence was really focusing on checking a box. And so they were like, hey, we need to make this an ongoing process in order for us to be able to truly partner with the patients that we're serving, allowing the patients to teach us. Look, viewing healthcare is very holistic, but also the doctor, in a sense, or the healthcare institution becoming a student so that they could better partner with the community. What are your thoughts about that? Just the importance of humility in doing the work around healthcare. Your organization touches major players, the Cleveland Clinic, the University Hospital, Metro, very well respected systems, right, here in Northeast Ohio. But talk about the importance of humility in leading that effort to be able to really achieve um, just just wholeness, healthcare, just why it's so important to really connect with communities. How do you see that in your role and just leading and being in healthcare all these years? Because this, I guess what I'm getting at is a way in which you can attempt to help people, but maybe you don't engage the community. And I think you miss the mark when you don't first seek to understand.
There's a lot in there.
That's a lot in there.
There was a lot in there.
It was.
So,
Take which part you want to run with.
okay. So a thing you don't know about me is that I have a background of being a clinical ethicist.
Okay, I
And
didn't know
so,
that.
and so
Yeah.
I was trained to listen
Mm,
really well.
okay.
Okay. And understand the patient dynamics, their family dynamics, the family's position, as well as the hospital, healthcare system's position, the clinician's position, the nursing staff's position on the full care path continuum.
Mm,
I want you to
yep.
understand that.
Yep.
And where I started was actually the NICU, okay,
Okay.
with premature infants. Very tough area. I then later progressed to geriatrics.
Okay.
So the two bookends,
Yep.
okay?
Yep.
Um, and so I not only understand what you're saying, but I also understand the need, is what I want you to understand or hear from me and understand,
Yeah.
James,
Yeah.
is that a lot of clinicians get in the mode of the treatment and they're getting in the mode of the diagnosis and they're held to the fire on notation, dictation, getting as many patients in and out the door
Yeah.
in which they do not personally like. I really want you to understand
Yeah.
that. The health
Yeah.
system, the way it's currently constructed, it doesn't allow for as much personal touch because of time.
Yeah.
And time equates to money.
Yeah.
And money equates to keeping the facility open and running and then serving the individuals within that community, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, they have to generate revenue to exist, even
Yeah.
though they're a non-for-profit organization.
Right.
Okay. Especially with the tens of thousands of people that those organizations you're talking about for this conversation need to have just to exist and coexist. And so those organizations have been making strides very, I would say, intently, even before COVID, to better understand patients and understand their specific needs. But a lot of times you're not given that flexibility because the load that's currently coming at you, as well as the constraints due to the workforce or the constraints of space or the constraints of utilizing, radiological services or other
Mm-hmm.
services within the facility. And so needs don't always get immediacy.
Mm-hmm.
But believe me, clinicians and healthcare workers, they don't get into healthcare specifically to go out and generate income.
Right.
They do it to serve.
That's right.
They do it to, and they take oaths for that, right?
That's right.
And so it always bewilders me a little bit when individuals outside of healthcare, have their kind of preconceived
Mm-hmm.
dispositions about healthcare workers. Those folks are as close to church
Yeah.
as any
Yeah.
other person on the planet is really
Yeah.
what I want you to
Yeah.
know and understand, which is
Yeah.
why I'm telling you from a clinical ethics
Yeah.
standpoint, why I got involved with clinical ethics
Yeah.
is to have that theological touch point with those patients
Yeah.
and wear a white coat. Um,
Hmm.
I I think that we all can improve.
For sure.
I
For
think
sure.
that the demands of the market have prevented that
Mm-hmm.
to an enormous degree, as
Yeah.
well as the requirements of physicians um,
Yeah.
in notation and having to work pajama hours, which
Yeah.
means once they're home, they're still doing
Yeah.
the
Still
work.
going.
They're
Yeah.
having to do all the administrative catch up. It isn't it is not a current fair process.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I want you to know and
Yeah.
understand. It is a
Yeah.
it's a rough environment, and
Mm-hmm.
the people that are hanging in there, they're yeomen from the standpoint of wanting to embark, help, assist, and enable patients to heal as well as thrive.
Yeah.
So
That's a good word, yeoman.
literally, it's yeoman's work. Like
Yeah.
they don't
I
they
never heard of that before
they
until I
could
went to Oberlin College. That
okay
was the name of our mascot,
okay
Yeoman.
oh really
Yeah, that's why.
oh that's really wild.
Yeah, yeah. So the fact that you used it, I was like, I haven't heard a lot of people use that word.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and I see them as the shepherds. I see
yeah,
them um as dignitaries. That's how I
yeah,
perceive the administrators and the clinicians. I give a tremendous amount of respect to any administrator out there of our
yeah.
hospitals, healthcare systems, because they're just battling.
Totally.
And I would say that 99% of America here doesn't understand
Yeah,
those implications
yeah,
or understand they want to live into
yeah,
being a humble and
yeah,
servant leader, but a lot of times they don't get the opportunity to ask and embark upon all the Q&A, the dialogue, the listening skills because of just the mode of having to keep
yeah,
moving along the
yeah.
the the pathway or just survive. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes a
Okay.
lot of sense. It's the same. Um, logic is also applied in education. That most people who go into education go because they care about kids. They care about people, right? And so my question is, how do you safeguard against an environment that makes it difficult to be able to cultivate the relationship component? Like you mentioned that some of the things that we're dealing with is that time is such a precious commodity. You got to generate revenue and income to keep it
Yeah.
open. But yet we do know that relationships is a part of the healing process too. And so, what conversations have you heard? What things have you just come across just from experience as a leader in that kind of environment? Because I think it relates to a lot of people in different, even those people that are in factories that got to generate so many cars. How do you connect? How do you lead in that kind of environment? Because that's what my work is all about, trying to help people to
I
cultivate
get
and
it.
bring their heart back.
I get it. I don't want people to walk away thinking that people as patients, because we're all patients, are
Yeah,
cars.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
Um, each and every single one of our diagnoses and
Yeah.
our issues are different.
Right.
And we're complex beings.
Yeah.
Cars kind of have a blueprint associated with them. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that we
Yeah.
don't, but I'm
Yeah.
stating that our
A lot
blueprints are
more
different.
complicated.
Yeah, we
Totally.
are. We're complicated because of our lifestyles, where we've come from,
Yeah.
what we're currently doing, good and bad.
Yeah.
And so it all is applicable, right? And it has to be taken in and studied and, um, figured out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I, healthcare providers want to do that,
Yeah.
right? And they don't want to just keep moving people as if they were in a factory. So I just want
For
to
sure.
stress
For
that.
sure. Yeah.
Now, what types of things are happening within healthcare institutions? Healthcare institutions are bringing in organizations like yours,
Yeah.
but they also have leaders now that they're bringing on board, like Peter Provost. And,
Yeah.
and Dr. Provost is at University Hospitals, came down to Johns Hopkins. He has um, an unbelievable uh, uh, ability in understanding human beings, the need for empathy, the need for understanding the mission, understanding what people are doing. And he utilizes the word love.
Mm-hmm.
And so he brings it down to the core word of love in order for individuals to understand respect and accountability, and then how they can work as a team and how they
Yeah.
can deliver higher levels and gradients of satisfaction
Yeah.
with higher levels of outcomes of patient success.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is very similar to the type of work that you do,
Yeah.
but with a different spin.
Yep.
And the spin is love one another, respect one another, understand each other's skill
Yeah.
base, understand the patient better. And by
Yeah.
doing that, we'll provide a better outcome,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That type of philosophy is picking up, I would say, throughout the whole marketplace, because folks are trying to get better outcomes,
Yeah.
not just to retain their staff for
Yeah.
satisfaction,
Yeah.
but also retain the patient and their family members who will continue coming back,
Yeah.
but also to have better outcome scores, because the folks who do the reimbursement of these organizations are
Mm-hmm.
seeking the higher scores,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're seeking the ability for that patient to thrive,
Yeah.
that patient to not come back into their institution, and have a revisit associated with, which is called a readmission, to their facilities, which then becomes costly.
Mm-hmm.
And so these efforts around humility, my statement would be, are cost savings,
Yeah.
are patient satisfaction enhancers,
Yeah.
are staff satisfaction enhancers, are the ability to implement knowledge as well as a affiliation, love, respect for one another, and want to be part of a team,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the team
Mm-hmm.
dynamics are being enhanced.
Yeah.
And I would say there's a lot of folks out there from a laboratory kind of
Yeah.
perspective
Yeah.
who are testing and experimenting and looking for how they can tweak the systems,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like this is and I shared this with you literally 4 years ago or 5 years ago. I think that what
Mm-hmm.
you guys do, what your team does, can be implemented in every single healthcare institution
Yeah.
across the United States, and have tremendous effect in the way that they work, the way they understand one another, and it gives a new purpose around the actual mission,
Mm-hmm.
and gives new meaning to that individual of what they're doing each and every single day.
That's good. I think if I summarize it, what you said, and this
Try.
is no, I know, right? It's and the reason why I said the whole car analogy, right? It wasn't to minimize the complexity of the healthcare, but for those listening, that you're gonna drop some nuggets that can be transferable to any context.
I
You know what I
agree that
mean? Yeah.
there's a lot of unique similarities of the businesses of automobiles from a manufacturer to those who fix the automobiles, um, people that fly planes, people who educate.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's the human
it
component.
is the human component. It also is the component of why does a person get up?
Right.
Okay, so when you wake up each day, are you reminding yourself why you are here?
That's right.
Right? I have this amazing friend. Her name is Dr. Teresa Dews. She runs the Cleveland Clinic Euclid facility.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she doesn't mind I'm saying her name, but I love her so much. She has a note on her desk, and then she had me create one for myself, which is, why are you there?
Yep.
What is your purpose?
Yep.
And it is a daily reminder.
Yep.
I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to enhance and elevate the community,
That's right.
right?
That's
If
right.
you can do that, then you can apply that to every single thing that you're doing.
Totally.
Does that
Totally.
make sense?
It makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. I get it.
Yeah.
This is what I do. It's just trying to help organizations sometimes and leaders to slow down and say that, hey, this is an important investment that has great dividends. And sometimes you may not be able to measure it right away. But when you do right by people and you empower people,
Yeah.
that what happens is you get a better outcome. If the outcome is healthcare, if the outcome is a product, whatever it is, because when I go across the country, I ask people what is most needed. I show this slide and I show them the 5 components of humility. The first component is self awareness.
Okay.
The second component is the ability to acknowledge mistakes. It deals with vulnerability.
Mm,
The third component is openness to new ideas and advice. The fourth component is an appreciation of what others contribute. And the last component of humility is low self focus, high other focus. And I asked people all over these 50 states, I said, what is most needed in your organization? What are the 1 or 2 things that you feel is most needed that will create a more synergistic, healing centered culture? Without fail, the first thing they say is the leader's ability to acknowledge mistakes, the vulnerability component. And the second thing they always mention is an appreciation of what others contribute. That lets me know from a pulse standpoint that sometimes we're so driven that sometimes we don't stop to be human, because part of what humility comes out of is this hubris, is to be grounded, is to be human. And it's the other component that sometimes I may not let people know that I value them and that I see you and I hear you, and I'm thankful that you show up, that you're in the fight. Particularly as we talk about healthcare, I know that you might be going through something in your own life, but you chose to be here, and you are an important part. And I think when I hear that, I try to echo this to say that as an organization, you're doing some awesome things, but don't lose sight of what really matters, and that's people.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I would state that our organization, we've implemented a unique little system just recently. It's called Applause, which
applause.
which
Yep.
is a online, if you want to call it, congratulatory gratitude platform.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm probably giving it a new brand, right? but 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 our team members provide each other open gratitude for helping one another, assistance, listening, caring, consideration, ideas,
Yeah,
showing up.
yeah.
Um,
And you implemented that because everything I said just now. You just knew that it was the right thing to
I
do.
didn't know that, but I want you to know that that is one of the unique things here, is that sets us apart, is that open dialogue
Yeah,
and that ability to reach out and show you care.
yeah.
And by doing that, it's enhanced our satisfaction here, as well as, I think, people's voices being heard.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we've also done the reverse too, James, where We hold town hall meetings, and I recommend that to the leaders who are going to
Yeah.
listen to this, by open dialogue of what works,
Yeah.
what doesn't work,
Yeah.
what do we need to enhance, what ideas does everybody have.
Yeah.
And doing that in an open forum allows for that freedom of conversation and that build,
Mm-hmm.
which has created different new attributes, new focuses, things that we didn't even know or even think about
Yeah.
because it was lost in a person's need or lost within an expression,
Yeah.
and that person needed that platform to express themselves.
Yeah.
Make sense?
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
So I agree with you,
Mm-hmm.
that individuals do need to be heard, need to be seen, and leaders, I can't say typically, but um, a lot of times get thrust into the run,
Mm-hmm.
and the run becomes very intense as a CEO because of the amount of stress of the organization, taking care of the people, taking
Yeah.
care of your community,
Yeah.
wanting to serve so many different people,
Yeah.
that you might lose sight or might not might
Mm-hmm.
lose
Mm-hmm.
um, lose your time to be able to have that extended reach.
So I've been asking a lot of CEOs, how do you manage fear?
Fear.
Yeah. So as a leader, you have the pressures of having to meet your goals, to be a high performing organization, even a high performing person. How do you deal with the noise and the fear that comes with being able to lead at such a high level and moving so fast?
I express my fear openly to my senior team.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
by doing that, I disclose to them the risk or
Mm-hmm.
the potential reward or what I believe is a barrier, which would I don't want to call it so much fear as it
Yeah.
is in me.
Yeah.
It's agita.
Yeah.
You get that stomach, that
Yeah.
little butterfly, like, oh boy,
Yeah.
this is concerning.
Yeah.
And I typically like to voice that and then have the different leaders respond
Mm-hmm.
around ideas of how it can be fixed or
Yeah.
how we can scale that wall or how we're going to deal with that potential barrier.
Mm-hmm.
When things come really fast, you might not get that opportunity to have the open dialogue. But I then go to the mentors and the coaches
Yeah.
and like, hey, look, this is the situation. I need additional help.
That's good.
And
That's good.
yeah, and then I go back to probably the senior leadership team, for the most part, before executing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Same
tell
with the
people,
board. I would
no,
that's
totally. Yeah.
for me, my board, and I have a very unusual board of directors, um, great friends, very, very tuned in on the organization,
Mm-hmm.
very tuned in on what we provide, what we
Right.
can and cannot do.
Right.
Will say no
Yeah.
versus just yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. And for me, they're there not just to keep me on the rails,
Yeah.
but they're there to also bolster me up.
Yeah.
And so I would consider them, for the most part, some of my best advisors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's humility in action for those that are watching. He didn't use that word, but one of the best ways to mitigate fear is education. But to pursue that education, you have to admit that you don't know, and you
Yeah.
gotta be willing to be the student.
I do
Yeah.
that every day.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I, I, I even said that at the very start of this
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. When you came in.
We
Yeah.
don't have the answers
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
to every single
That's right.
thing.
That's
And,
right.
and I refuse to lay claim
Yeah.
to having that. It
Yeah.
doesn't, I'm not seeking that from a career
I
standpoint.
got
I'm
you.
seeking to make a difference
Yeah.
within the market space.
Yeah.
This isn't about an elevation of Brian Lane. This is
Yeah.
an elevation of WellLink. This is an
Yeah.
elevation of Cleveland. This is an elevation of healthcare within our nation,
Yeah.
right? And
Hmm.
it's a mission within a
Yeah.
mission within a greater mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I
I love it.
well, I appreciate that. I it's tough for folks to get their head around, and it's because it's not just around oneself,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's around one being,
That's good.
or
That's
I should say
good.
one's being, and
Right.
one's being from being involved with others, being connected with others. So I've had this phrase which I've lived with for many years. It's called 1+1=6,
Okay.
and it's an equation. And people are like, "Oh, you're terrible at
Yeah. What's your
math."
math, man?
Yeah,
Tell me about this
what
mathematics.
type of kindergarten did you go to? Oh, and why are you so bad at math skills
Yep.
and you're a CEO? I'm really good at math. Okay.
Yeah.
And my math teacher, if ever sees this, or my mathematics teachers ever see this, I give you ultimate props. But I challenge people with that message. I challenge people to form unions and understand that they are not everything,
Yeah.
and that their organizations aren't everything,
Yeah.
and that we all have gaps, we all have needs. And if you understand those gaps, you understand those needs, well, then you can make a greater connection,
Yeah.
because one plus another one, right? So if I got a gaps in a particular area and
Mhm.
somebody else has got the solution for that, well, that's a solidified
Mhm.
plus.
Yeah.
And I consider that a force multiplier.
Yeah.
Okay. And I
Yeah.
seek out force multipliers
Yeah.
as business partners.
Yeah.
And so people credit me for connections, but all I'm doing is adding up value.
Yeah.
And I'm adding up value with purpose in mind,
Mm-hmm.
to serve a
Yeah.
greater purpose.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Totally.
That's my whole thing.
Totally.
And so WellLink and the message, and those that are listening to this have already probably put all
Mhm.
this together.
Yeah.
WellLink is a expression of that equation,
Yeah.
but with an actual brand, because 1+1 as a brand, equals 6. It doesn't resonate with folks. Like, that's
Yeah.
bad math.
Yeah.
It causes you to think, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
dream
Yeah.
and inspire hope. But
Yeah.
WellLink shows that ultimate linkage, that connection,
I
that
see it
means
now.
to
I
actually
see it.
address problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all about the synergy.
It is. It's synergies. It is understanding. And I'll even say that, James, in my emails. I think what we should do is have a meeting, explore one
Yeah.
another's pluses,
Yeah.
negatives, visions,
Yeah.
and see where the synergies are between the two organizations.
That's
my
I was
approach.
reading. No, that's good. I've read something where it says if you take a Belgian horse, those big horses, the average Belgian horse can pull between 8 to 10,000 pounds. They did this study. When you put two of them together, you would think that the mathematics would say that they should pull about 15, 16,000
Mhm.
pounds. But what happens is when you put two of them together, they actually pull almost 30,000 pounds. That's what you're getting at. That's the power of synergy. But that's just an example in nature that when you bring things together and you link it up and you link it together well, you get 1+1
You're
equals
there.
6.
Yeah, you're there. I would state that what's also happening in our world right now is a technological revolution
With the AI?
with AI. And AI is the assimilation of different data,
Mhm.
different focuses, different needs, different outcomes, disparate,
Yep.
different types of data. And when you put it together,
Yeah.
you're actually getting to the verb on something relatively quick,
Yeah.
right? So in the past, we would all have to do our independent, research.
Yeah.
Now I can get that research in seconds.
Yeah.
Now I have to double check and make sure that that research
Yeah.
is applicable, but it's the same
Yeah.
philosophy. That's what I want you to understand. And
Totally.
so technology has actually fallen in line with the human need
Yeah.
for connection,
Yeah.
immediacy,
Yeah.
right? And as customers too, we have this customer centric approach now, right? It's the I want it now, and I
Yeah.
want it my way, right?
Yeah.
And that's our expectation. And
Hmm.
so
That's
so
good.
so you're seeing
Yeah.
AI now flow the exact same way, which is why the user base is becoming larger and larger, and there's
Mm-hmm.
also a dependence
Yeah.
because the tentacles of this
Yeah.
are creating compounds,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I want to share one connection with you about AI.
Yeah.
AI doesn't have the assimilation capabilities of emotion yet,
Right.
right? And so we, as human beings, our differentiator is getting to know people
Yeah.
and getting to know them on a personal level around needs, around skills, gaps, focuses, interests,
Yeah.
loves, affection.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to always harness.
Yeah.
And if we have that and then utilize AI
Yeah.
to make the assimilation with others, well, it's just going to get bigger and better,
That's good.
right?
That's good.
And so I
Yeah.
see individuals looking for, seeking humility.
Yeah.
I think that um, our days of commanding,
Mm-hmm.
instilling fear, pulling the rug out up
Yeah.
from underneath individuals
Yeah.
is gone.
Yeah. That's
It
good.
doesn't work.
That's good.
It doesn't produce the
Yeah.
right or necessary results.
Yeah.
And most importantly, it doesn't leave a good legacy or
Mm-hmm.
a distinguishing mark on those individuals who are still practicing those types of behaviors.
That's
And
good. Yeah.
I would say because of COVID,
Yeah.
the emotional attributes and quotients of people was
Mm-hmm.
ultimately tested
Yeah.
because of this type of technology.
Yeah.
And we all got to start figuring out who's real, who's not real.
Yeah.
And then at the same token, have a moment of reflection. Do I like what I see?
Yeah. I like that.
You know, and in those individuals that don't, are having some tough times.
That's true.
Those that do
That's true.
want to spread their wings and provide love on a much larger scale.
That's good.
So
That's well said. Humility definitely breeds connection. Um, one more question. What motivates you?
you
What
gave me like
motivates you?
100 questions.
I know, but you're such a busy guy, man. I know you got to get to your next thing and
All right,
stuff, you know.
all right.
But
I thought we were gonna be here till like
what
nighttime.
I mean, we could just have Dr. Bias come in and just go to the next level because we didn't get into social determinants of health and all these other
You
things.
need to have the conversation with
So
one of my best friends,
yeah,
Dr. Kim Bias.
yeah. So we'll get into that with him and
yeah.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
can I preface that just for a second, please?
Please do. I want you to.
Dr. Kim Bias and myself have been connected for over 20 plus years.
Yeah.
He and I made the connection when we were both at the American Hospital Association. The gentleman that will come in after me is one of my dearest friends. He's a coach. He's an advisor. He works with me in helping not only preserve this association, but making the connections within this community. We have done some amazing work together, and he's going to share that with you on social determinants of health. But our work is based on humility.
Yeah.
Our commitment to one another is on humility. Okay. That makes sense.
Man.
Yeah. And that's what gives us purpose. And we don't want to ever be without one another
Yeah.
because of that fact. I really want you to want everybody to know that.
No, I'm with you,
Sorry for
brother.
hitting
I'm
one of your
with you,
mics.
man. I'm with you.
But it's a commitment because of what we have lived through, what we have seen, and what is in need.
Yeah.
And so the commitment isn't just about the organization. It's not about the career piece, as I talked about before. It is making a difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what motivates you
That's it.
is making a difference.
That's it.
Well, man, we always end every conversation with this new product. So we have different.
I've been wondering what the heck that is this whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I'm like
So
staring at
these
this box, like,
so
what's in the box?
every organization should have these, right? Because again, my mission is to tell the world about humility. And so this is an opportunity for leaders and organizations. You look through that. So let's say you have a meeting, you have a one-on-one, with your people on your team. Sometimes you want to have a nice question to start off with. So it has great quotes on there, and it's an opportunity for you to get to know your people. But sometimes you don't always have it in your mind. But if you have this on your desk, it kind of helps you to kind of think about, you know, ways in which you can connect with your
Oh yeah,
people.
this is cool.
So you choose one to ask me, I'm gonna choose one to ask you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So man, it's so many good ones here. I'm gonna go first, then you'll go. All right.
Yes.
What's something you're proud of but rarely get a chance to share? Something you're proud of but you rarely get a chance to share it.
I love my daughter so much, and I rarely
Mm.
get to talk about my daughter.
Oh, that's good.
And my daughter's named after me. I was so creative at Applebee's when I created this name, which was Brianna. So it's Brian with N and A attached to it.
Ah,
We knew that we were having a daughter. We were blessed. We didn't think we were going to have kids.
yep,
And she is so smart, so witty, so funny,
yeah,
and so passionate about making changes. Honestly, if my wife was sitting next to me, I'd be holding her hand, I'd be saying to
yeah,
you, our proudest achievement, our proudest um, thing that we have done together
yeah.
is create this amazing human being.
Mm,
So
that's
just
good.
that's what I would
And the
say
quote
there.
that went with that was alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much by Helen Keller.
That's cool.
That's cool, man.
I I came from Chicago, so I
I'm from
I
Chicago,
yeah,
born and
and
raised.
so
Yep.
I have a little a little attribute here because I see the quote from Michael Jordan.
Yep.
But the question that's on the top is, what's one quality you admire in your teammates?
Man, that's good. The thing that I admire in my teammates, the people that work with me, is just their commitment to the vision that God has given me. And I just can't think of enough, right? Like when you have people who are willing to walk with you and rock with you when you don't have much, but they see the potential, it just says that these are people that you want around for a lifetime.
Yeah,
Kind of like with Dr. Bias, right?
yeah.
Is that these are people that you can trust. So I admire in them the fact that they trust me, they trust the vision that I have to try to change the world, to make it a better place, to heal it through humility, through just encouraging hearts. That's something I admire in these guys and stuff like that. And so I try to pour into them, encourage them, and support them the best way I know how.
Well, you do that with our organization as well.
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow too, so
So
that'd
I'm
be
so
cool.
I'm very appreciative.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. So
Thank you
here's
so
Michael
much.
Jordan's quote,
Yep.
which is cool. Talent wins games, but there's always a but,
Yep.
right? Teamwork and intelligence wins championships.
That's so true.
Okay.
That's so true. Teamwork and intelligence wins championships. That's a great way to end this, man. Because I think you can't have teamwork and you can't have the collective intelligence without the right heart. And that starts with humility.
I love that.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for taking
Very
time.
much.
We're
Very much.
filming right here on the headquarters or the campus of WellLink downtown in Cleveland.
We're pleased to have you here.
Yeah,
and your
I'm
team
glad,
as
and
well.
thank you for partnership with us. And
Yeah.
we'll continue to promote all the great things you're doing.
Please do. You've eased me into this a little bit, which is
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not used to having all this equipment around me, but it's great seeing
You
you. I
too.
hope that we did well.
We did
And
well. Yeah, yeah. And those you're watching, be sure to like and subscribe and share this out. Thank
yeah,
you.
that would be cool.
Cool.
All right.
You did a good job, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for watching Humble Conversations with Dr. James Knight. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us bring you more great content. See you next time.